Hey guys, what's up? Today's a special treat today. I'll be talking about Count Dracula movies, but not your ordinary Count Dracula movies. I'll be talking about all of Christopher Lee's Dracula movies. Hopefully, I need to get one more on my set to complete this review, and I'm going to try to talk about each and every one of them. Hopefully, I'll do it by this weekend, but I'm going to start off with the Gene Franco's version of Count Dracula. Again, let me just say, this is not the Hammer Horror Count Dracula, even though you got Christopher Lee as the character itself, but this is Gene Franco's version. Special feature, beloved Count Gene Franco's featurette. Christopher Lee reads Bram Stoker's Dracula, Soledad Miranda's essay at Still Gallery. It's 97 minutes, it's region 1, and I guess it's not rated because it doesn't have no ratings for this. Let me see. Not rated, which is good. Not rated. And if I'm correct, what Gene Franco wanted to do with his Dracula is based it more towards the book, unlike Coppola's version or Hammer's version of Dracula. Gene Franco wanted to be, like I said, more faithful to where the source material came from. And Bela Lugosi's version is good, without a doubt. And I did like the Hammer horror version much more, but the Hammer horror version, I gotta be honest, it was more fast paced. So yeah, Hammer was my favorite, but the Gene Franco's version of it was really good actually. The Count Dracula in this one, if you expect like Dracula to be more out there, like more aggressive, more forward in the movie, really this Dracula is not really too much in the scenes of the movie. You see him in the movie, but not as much as you think you will see him. And Christopher Lee has like a few lines in this movie, because mainly this movie is more towards Jonathan Harker, Morris, and Van Helsing mostly talking. And just like the movie, like the black and white movie or in the book, you got this guy named Harker going to visit Dracula, because he's one of the clients in London. So he's going to visit Dracula, give him the deed to this house that Dracula bought. And he's mentioned that he want to move on because he's getting old, and he wants to keep himself up to date pretty much. And then when Harker finds out that this guy's living in a coffin, he just jumped out the window like, and then suddenly he's in a hospital bed now, Harker, and then Van Helsing hospital, and Van Helsing, I think, he got in contact with the fiance of Harker. They come down and visit him, and with the woman's friend, and later on you see Dracula seduce the woman's friend Lucy, and later on she becomes a vampire, and then you get most of the moments is mainly gonna be Van Helsing and Harker's talking. Morris also comes down to visit his fiance, who's the one that's bit by the vampire Dracula, and Morris comes down. So mainly the talk is going to be around those three characters, and of course, Harker's fiance too. You also got the guy, the mental patient, played by Harker Quincey, another icon actor. Rest in peace, by the way. He played like a mental patient who was like one of the victims of Dracula, but he has some kind of psychic links to him, you know. But anyway, as the movie progressed, Van Helsing talking about how he studied the black arts, and he told Harker, Morris, and Harker's fiance that he mentioned the story of Dracula, and later on, Morris and Harker ended up becoming vampire hunters now, and Morris had to kill his fiance Lucy because she's a vampire now, and as the movie progressed, Dracula, like the more blood he drinks, he becomes younger now, like. When you see his hair white, his hair's like black now, and he set up a trap to bite Harker's fiance, and then Harker comes in, and Morris comes in and they kind of like save her, and they kind of put him in Van Helsing's office where she could rest, while Morris and Harker goes after Dracula, and then Dracula comes in, trying to take the girl away, but Van Helsing was able to stop Dracula. Dracula runs off, and Dracula has a plan to go to Varna when he could just like leave. He's gonna leave where he's at now, move on to another place, and then go back to Transylvania pretty much, with going to Vanuatu or Transylvania, and so Morris and Harker comes to the castle, kill the Dracula's vampire bride, and then after that, at the end of the movie, and of course I'm gonna spoiler. Stay away if you don't want to hear the ending. I'm gonna spoil it now. They they push the blocks from the castle and kill a few of Dracula's servants, and they open the coffin, and they kind of so Dracula in his wooden coffin, and then Harker and Morris burn the coffin, and they push the coffin from the castle to the ground, and they kind of ended it like that. I kind of like Harker when he had that smile on his face, like "We got you, bitch," pretty much. It was pretty funny, you know, how it ended. But I didn't expect for it to end it so simple, you know, like so easy like that. Like Dracula got him down just like that. But either way, I did enjoy it. Again, don't expect like too much of a Dracula moment, like more Dracula than Harker or Van Helsing, because it's mainly gonna be more Van Helsing and Harker and Morris, you know, and his fiance talking mostly, and you'll see some vampire action here and there, like a little bit of vampire action, not too much, but either way, it was very well done. I mean, I like the soundtrack, the environment, you know, the way they set it up. I mean, Gene Franco did a good job on his version of Count Dracula, and it was very enjoyable. And pick up this version, you get like maybe like under $5, hopefully, on Amazon. I know I got mine cheap. I think about $3 or $4. I think if I'm corrected. But anyway, guys, peace. See you later.